Hello everyone, welcome back. In previous lecture, I explained about the drawing process and I also explained about the combination die, then shallow and deep drawing operations. Now in today's lecture, I am going to explain about the calculation of blank diameter, how the diameter of blank is calculated. So let us start. So the diameter of the blank required for producing shell of given size can be calculated by equating the surface area of the blank to the surface area of finished shell. For that, suppose the capital D is the diameter of the blank, which is known as blank diameter, which is in mm. Then similarly small d, which is the shell diameter, which is also in mm. Then small h, which is the shell height, which is also in mm. Then small r, which is corner radius, which is also in mm. Neglecting the small variation in thickness of the shell and the effect of shell radius, the diameter of the blank required, capital D diameter of blank required, is given by this equation. Capital D is equal to under root small d square plus 4 times small d into h. Now this equation is valid for diameter by this corner radius, which means shell diameter small d by corner radius is greater than or equal to 20. For this condition, this equation is valid. For lower value of d by r, the effect of shell radius must be taken into account. The approximate relation for blank diameter less than 20 r is given by one table. I will show you one table in which the blank size for diameter d less than or r, d by r is less than, for d by r which is less than 20. For that there is one table. So here you can see between value, if the it is lower than 20 but which is greater than 15, then we will have this minus 0.5 r extra term in the diameter of the blank. If the d by r ratio shell diameter to corner radius is 10 to 15, we will minus small r, which is radius, and for below 10 the equation is completely changing. For that it is this is shell diameter and small r is corner radius and h is the shell height. So suppose this is one our shell. So here there are corners over here. So this corner radius is small r. Then height is h and the diameter is small d. So these are the terms, and the blank diameter we calculate using this equation. Capital D is equal to under root d square plus 4dh, but for diameter to radius is greater than or equal to 20. This is the h height, and for less than there is separate equation for different value of d by r. So mainly you have to remember this equation for d by r greater than or equal to 20. Now for a flanged cylindrical cup with relatively sharp corners, if the flanged cylindrical cup is having relatively sharp corner like this, if it is having sharp corners, we have a separate equation, capital D is equal to under root d2 square plus 4 d1 into h. What is the difference between earlier and this equation? In earlier equation it was d is equal to under root d square plus 4d h, but here these two values are different. First one is d2, second one is d1. Now the d1 and d2 are the diameter of cylindrical and flanged section of the shell respectively. जो यहाँ पे जो cylindrical section है उसका diameter और जो flanged section है उसका diameter, वो दोनों यहाँ पे different है. तो सबसे पहला जो सिलेंडर का जो डायमीटर है दैट इज d1 और जो फ्लैंज्ड सेक्शन है उसका जो डायमीटर है दैट इज d2. सो यहाँ पे दो सेपरेट डायमीटर लिए गए हैं. व्हेन डूइंग डीप ड्राइंग along with ironing so that the thickness of the wall of the shell is less than that of the bottom of the shell, the blank size can be calculated by the equation capital D is equal to under root small d square plus 4 times dh t1 by to. This equation is useful for deep drawing along with ironing. Last time we discussed about the ironing operation in which the long part was drawn, and for ironing so that the thickness of the wall of the shell is less than that of the bottom of the shell. जो the bottom is smaller as compared to the thickness of shell. The blank size calculated is given by this equation, and T1 is the wall thickness. This one is the wall thickness, and here it is TB, which is the bottom thickness. So there are two various portions in the deep drawing process. One is wall thickness and second one is this bottom thickness. This bottom thickness is defined as TB and this wall thickness is defined as small t1. These equations give only the size of blank based on the surface area of the blank and shell. In actual practice, if the edges of deep drawn cup are to be trimmed, it is necessary to add trim allowance to the value so calculated. The trim allowance is 3 mm for each 25 mm of diameter with minimum of 3 mm. For every 25 mm we add 3 mm of trim allowance. Over here for trimming purpose we apply 3 mm of trim allowance. If the diameter is 50, then we are supposed to add 6 mm of trim allowance. Next is percentage reduction and redrawing. So if the capital D is the blank diameter and small d is the shell diameter, as we discussed in previous theory, percentage reduction in drawing operation may be defined as capital R percentage reduction, this, is defined as capital D, which is the diameter of our blank, then small d, which is our shell diameter, divided by capital D, again this is blank diameter, into 100. So we will get the answer. This is the percentage reduction, and it is also sometimes called as degree of drawing, with the amount by which we draw a blank or a component. So this is called as degree of drawing. Theoretically, it can be shown that a reduction of 50% to 70% is possible. This is the theoretical data. But as part of practical, the value may change, and it is limited to 35 to 45% due to friction from the blank holder and bending force. Now this theoretical value depends on the ductility of the material, while in practical case it is ranging from 35 to 45%. This is the practical value. But in practical value, this value, why there is this much amount of huge difference? Because in practical case there is a presence of friction, as well as there is blank or bending force. Bending force is also present, and friction is also present at the blank holder. And if the part diameter has to be reduced to more than this limit, it is necessary to subject the part to one or more redrawing operation. So to get this much amount of reduction, we require redrawing process, because practically we can see there is only small amount of reduction, which is approximately half of this. So redrawing will be required. Redrawing is also done sometimes to obtain sharp corners and better details, which are not possible in single draw. Two types of redrawing operations are there. The first is direct redrawing. Here you can see the pressure pad is there to provide a throat angle if we want an angle in our blank. This is the die, and this one is the die holder. This one is the simplest and direct drawing process. The normal form of redrawing tool, where a pressure pad is employed to prevent wrinkling of the work. It has been found experimentally that a throat angle of 10 degree gives best result for the most material except aluminum, for which the pressure angle of 15 degree. For average material, normal material, the throat angle is 10 degree, but for aluminum this angle is 15 degree, found the best. Again, one more type is of redrawing. Figure shows is called as reverse redrawing. Reversed redrawing. This method does not permit any greater reduction than the direct method. As we can see, it is the reversed from. We can see in the reverse direction the drawing takes place. So we can say that this process gives better reduction as compared to reverse redrawing. But here the material is worked more uniformly than direct drawing. यहाँ पे जो मटेरियल है वो मोर यूनिफॉर्मली वर्क होगा एज कम्पेयर टू डायरेक्ट रीड्रॉइंग. दिस इज यूजफुल in deep drawing of rectangular sections to take care of the higher tendency of wrinkling in such sections. Redrawing is similar to drawing in most respect, but percentage reduction in subsequent draw gets reduced due to strain hardening as shown in figure table. Here you can see in the table with a change in a height ratio and number of draws needed, percentage reduction changes from, for first draw there is 40%, then for second it is 25%, then there is third draw it will be 15%, and in the last draw it will be fourth draw it will be 10% reduction. So for height ratio to diameter ratio is also very much important. Another term which is important is draw ratio, or we can say simply coefficient of drawing. Draw ratio or coefficient of drawing is defined as the ratio of blank diameter to the shell diameter, which is small k. This is our blank dia to our shell diameter, and k is the coefficient of drawing or drawing ratio. Next our topic is drawing force. Now stress analysis applied to deep drawing is an involved matter. The analysis has mostly been attempted only for drawing of cylindrical cups. For other cross section, mostly empirical expressions has been suggested. One figure shows the stress action on a workpiece during a drawing operation. Here we can see this is one section. Suppose initially it is of this shape. Now after we apply the drawing process, what will happen? Here this portion will having combined tension and compressive force. This portion will be having tensile force, and this angle will be having combined tension and bending force, and this will be having very little stress. So as the punch descends, the material from the flange is drawn over die radius into wall of cup. The flange portion being drawn experiences tensile stress and circumferential compressive stress, as you can see in the figure. Except for relatively thick materials, there is a tendency for a flange to wrinkle. The material will also tend to increase in thickness as it is drawn to comparatively smaller area. Material in wall of the cup is subjected to tensile stresses, and the maximum tensile load that can be carried by the wall of the cup sets a limit to depth of the draw that is possible, and the maximum value of drawing ratio d by small d depends on the rate of t by capital D of the blank. Now for various thickness ratio, the thickness ratio is given by which is T by capital D into 100. So and drawing ratio is given by capital D by small d. So here there is one particular value for various thickness. Suppose the thickness is 0.15, the value of drawing will be 1.4. For 0.2 it will be 1.5. For 0.3 it will be 1.6. 0.4 it will be 1.8, and for 0.5 it will be 1.9, and for greater than 0.5 it will be 2. Okay, so these are the values, and for capital D by small d is equal to 2 represents the maximum drawing ratio likely to be achieved under best conditions, and under normal manufacturing conditions somewhat lower reductions are achieved. With material weak in tension like aluminum, even capital D by small d of 2, which is possible with steel, cannot be obtained. So this is about the drawing force and various ratios. Now the value of drawing force can be approximately calculated by one empirical formula which does not consider the friction between the cup and die, which is given by this drawing force Fd is equal to pi small d small t Fy into capital D by small d minus C. So this equation is the drawing force empirical formula which is derived by the experiment. We can say small d is the outer diameter of shell, capital D is the blank diameter, T is the thickness, and Fy is the yield strength of material, and C is constant to cover the friction and bending, and the general value of C is 0.6 to 0.7. When Fd is required as a mean for selecting press capacity, a degree of safety can be introduced into expression, and some allowances made for friction between cup and die walls by adding 30% of above. So we can here add 1.3 for calculating press capacity. So this is it about the today's topic. Thank you very much for listening me carefully. Have a nice day.